Family, peace. We about to get started, family. We're not going to be on here too long, but we got to have a show tonight real quick, family. Keep the family updated on the amazing spiritual news that's going on. We are in some magnificent times, regardless of what you see going on. And, you know, the family, the tribe, we're going to continue to tap into this frequency, this God frequency that's going to take us to the next level. As you can see, the title of the show, we are entering fifth dimensional consciousness, but we are too distracted to tap in. There's such a circus show going on right now, family, such a circus show. But I want to, I know it's a little late. I want to give, first of all, I want to make sure we're live. Let me just check mine because I don't see any comments yet. Let me just, well, I see people there. All right, we should be live. All right, family. So, I'm gonna let people come in. Let me show y'all something real quick from my brother King Sam. You know what? Let's get to beautiful. Let's get to a track while the people fill in the room. We're gonna do a Q&A tonight too. Okay, I see the family now. Peace. Wu Moon Shotgun Beats, Poncho, Bed-Stuy 187, yeah, T Bush. We're gonna let a couple of people fill in the room, family. We're gonna get into a track real quick. We playing positive mantra music to program the our frequency a certain way. We've been programmed for death and destruction. Hip hop has become a death and destruction culture. We're changing that frequency of music. My brother Billy Carson, Donnie Arcade as well. We all, you know, we got to be a movement at this point and change this paradigm of music. We are music. Our cells vibrate. We all vibrate to a certain frequency. So we're going to get into some things. The first question I'm going to talk to my brother Billy about is these tuning forks. Oh, yeah. I just ordered some, and I'm going to talk to you about. We're going to start out like that because we're getting into new technology now. Not new technology, but technology that we haven't been tapping into. So I'm going to let y'all fill in the room. It's going to be a powerful show, a short show. You know, the brother Billy Carson got the workshop coming up on Sunday, this Sunday coming up. But let's get to beautiful because everything's about to be real beautiful. It's real beautiful right now, family, whether you know it or not. But we'll be right back after this, family.
I'm feeling beautiful, beauty truly irrefutable. Life a movie and my girl is beautiful, she a cutie with a booty too. From a doobie to a cutie, everything beautiful, take this out and make it suitable. Like a baby out of my life is beautiful, I'm a spirit in a human suit, but I wear it like a having a beautiful day. I wake up in my room and I pray. Then I go to the hoop and I play. Then I go to the booth and I aim. When I saw a rain cloud in the sky, I woke up and blew it away. I make it blue and it's gray. There's nothing as new as today. I say what I do and I do what I say. I've been trying to make lucrative pay through the usual, unusual ways. Then I throw a mushroom and I lay. Now I'm trying to have a beautiful night. I see more than what you view in your sight. You get blinded cause the future is bright. I get flyered and I flew in the flight.
You sideline and never flew you a kite. We aligned with a stewardess height. That's pretty high. But deep the vibe, dive deep in it like a Buddha's advice. I feel like God looking through the eye of the holy, but hold up. Yeah, flipping through the scribe pages, I go over like me. Do you try? It's a beauty. When I go to work, knowing on this shit, gotta let me do my duty. You don't mind? That's a ruby. Dig it? I be dropping juvie, cutie, plotting on my future youth. But my girl I got is beautiful. Booty around like a hula hoop, and I'ma work the box like a cubicle.
I'm feeling beautiful. Beauty truly irrefutable. Life a movie and my girl is beautiful. She a cutie with a booty too. From a doobie to a everything beautiful. Take this out and make it suitable. Like a baby out of my life is beautiful. I'm a spirit in a human suit, but I wear it like
I'm telling you, never should have counted me out of the game. I'm infinite, the sky body intended to pilot the plane. My skin tinted, honey dip got them walls mad cause they calling it out of my range. Whenever that pine eagle drip got them thirsty to copy my shit, now I'm following the claim. Priority sky high, my aesthetic been different. They got the roof off for the ass stem, but my third eye light film missing. Means when I'm traveling, might be astral, sort of projectile wing missile. Moroccan textiles on me neck stacked like the Joe Bird Gym District. Life like this is a fine art, cut Rembrandt. This is Basquiat in a gold frame. Black like hematite, bro, I'm the phenotype with this holy bloodline. It's no wonder why I'm so vain. Got A1 grade, 4C locks on a 5D stage. This kind of frequency, such a gorgeous trip. Get aboard, come and ride these waves. Rock.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Beauty, truly, you're a beautiful, beautiful. Like a movie and it's my girl is beautiful, 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 beautiful. She a cutie with a booty too. From a doobie to a everything beautiful, 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 beautiful. Take the side and make it suitable. Like a baby out of my life is beautiful, 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 beautiful. I'm a spirit in a human suit, but I wear it like a Gucci suit.
All right, family. All right. That track right there is off the Manifest Destiny album.
Nice.
With Black Magic, Cambada, Loaded Lux. And that song right there featured Sa Rock. So shout out to Sa Rock. She absolutely killed it.
Wow.
Yeah, you like that one, huh, Billy? That's dope.
That's vibe, man. Listen, over here vibing, man. That's nice, man. I like that one.
Yeah, that's
tomorrow in my car.
When you get in your Rolls Royce, you gotta pump that one, man. Life is beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Family, let me start out the show. Oh, this is gonna be a great show. This is my type of information. I just shared the link with the family. Yeah, I think the link. Yeah. But anyway, listen, family. There's a circus show going on right now. I mean, lies are flying at an all-time high. I mean, we're being lied so much they don't even care about if it sounds ridiculous or not.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the brother Hank Aaron, man. The brother Hank Aaron, he's been through so much in life. You know, as this movie role as a black man, you go through certain things, and him going through the civil rights era and what he had to go through in baseball and accomplishing what he accomplished, just to take the vaccine and pass away a week or two later. He, in the brother's mind, the brother really wanted to do something positive for the people. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to criticize the brother for taking it. That was that brother's decision. Yeah. Brother's a legend, and just rest in peace to the brother. And it's just, you know, it's just more evidence that, you know, it's a lot of craziness going on. You know, the brother takes the vaccine 1 week, then a week and a half later, the brother's gone.
Yeah. That
don't add up to me. You heard about that, right, Billy Carson?
Yeah. And I'm actually working on a special, like a 1 hour show about Hank Aaron right now, you know.
Okay.
I wanted to take my time and do something quality because of everything he brought to the table, everything he did for the community. And so I didn't just want to throw up one of those RIPs. So I really want to bring something to everybody.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So once again, rest in power to that brother. There's going to be a lot of elders who feel as though, you know, hey, I might as well take it. What's wrong? You know, and everybody has the right to do whatever they want to do. I'm not going to criticize anybody, but what we are here to say is that mainstream media is full of it, family. And thankfully that, you know, we got as this channel, I can bring to you a lot of individuals that have different levels of information, and hopefully some of them resonate with you. I want to start out like this, family. There's a lot of things we're not accustomed to seeing in our culture that we're just now seeing or becoming accustomed to. One of them that may look weird is these right here. I want to ask the brother about, because we're talking about Atlantis, we're talking about Anunnaki, and obviously they have some advanced technology that they was tapping into things and doing things that we can't do. I recently bought this, Billy Carson. Yeah. And what these are the tune forks for each one for each chakra. So it also coincides with the notes on the piano. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B. The C is the next octave. So I got let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8. So that makes that's an octave, and then this one, the next C. So this is C3, and I think this is C4.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay. That makes sense because that makes sense. All right, so I'm gonna just say that this is what I was told to do, Billy. And then I'm gonna ask you to kind of explain the technology to the family about what's going on with tuning forks. So I was told to, I put this on the surface. All right, wait, let me hit it. You can't see it, but I hit it on the surface. You hear?
Yeah.
All right, so that's C, family. That's C. We're gonna do one more because remember how that C sounded. This is D.
All right.
This feel good, so I gotta do one more because this feels so good. We're gonna do one more, then I'm gonna let Billy. Oh, so let me just say, this is the root chakra. This is the sacral.
Sacral chakra.
Yeah, and this is our solar plexus. So this is E. Let me. So that's E.
Yeah.
Put it into the mic. So, and you could just go up. So with that being said, Billy, let's start out like that. We're gonna have a great conversation, a quick conversation tonight, leading into this workshop. All this technology that we are now tapping into that we thought was ridiculous. What's going on with tuning forks, my brother?
Tuning forks are really amazing because they literally start to resonate at the frequency that can even help somebody obtain a Kundalini awakening at a much faster pace. So instead of actually trying to get the Kundalini awakening through meditation and diet and things like that, the tuning fork aspect of it helps to resonate right at the sacral chakra, the root chakra, all the way up the, the vertebrae. And those tuning forks, those frequencies and vibrations go beyond just what you're hearing. They resonate at another level, on the subatomic level. And they actually tap into the multidimensionality of the two brain avatar body, which is the heart brain coherence. And when it gets into that, it starts to activate these chakras. You start to, first of all, get them in alignment, and then you activate them, and then you get that Kundalini awakening. If you're practicing this on a normal basis, what people do sometimes, they'll lay flat out like on something like a massage table or on a bed. They go to places where people help them to do this, and they'll resonate these chakra frequencies directly over the actual chakra as they go up octaves until they get to the to the crown chakra. And through that, via and also meditation, it's just really amazing. Another thing about tuning forks, that the 432 hertz tuning fork is really amazing, because the 428 hertz tuning fork has the capability of healing and fixing DNA issues, RNA issues. That frequency is just one of the best frequencies for actually listening to anything. That's why I tune all my music to 432 hertz.
Right.
Because it's much easier to listen to, and it resonates better inside the avatar body, which is 80% water. And when you actually resonate 432 hertz against water and then analyze it under electron microscope, you start to see how it crystallizes perfectly. When you play standard music from the radio at 440 hertz and look at that water and do it by water, and then look at that water underneath a microscope, you start to see that it's kind of malformed crystals. So you can actually gain more perfection through 432 hertz as well.
Excellent. So I've heard, we're talking about Atlantis, and obviously, where we want to tap into that golden age information. What I've heard a lot of people say that they've used sound technology. That's how they built the pyramids.
Yeah.
The pyramids became light as it just became light as, So what's your thoughts on that? What was sound used to build the pyramids?
Not only was it used to build pyramids, sound was used to actually manifest the stone blocks. Some of the stones were quarried and some stones weren't quarried. And I covered this in my book, Compendium of the Emerald Tablets. Thoth talks about in his tablets that he authored himself, he talks about the fact that he used a combination of cymatic frequencies and vibrations along with conscious thought, and he knew how to combine the two together to manifest bricks into reality. So he would manifest. This is why it's so puzzling how the Great Pyramid was built. A lot of the blocks for the Great Pyramid were literally manifested. And what's really amazing is, if you want to see how it goes from these tablets into the Hollywood movies, there was an X-Men movie that came out. It was almost the last one. It's like the third to the last one, where they bump into this Thoth character from ancient times, and they kind of go back in time. And this guy literally manifests the stones from conscious thought and sound. That was one of the X-Men. So, they went and read these tablets, obviously. But then also the same thing is that they built that pyramid, like Thoth talks about, from the top down. So, so the Great Pyramid was built from the top down, not from the bottom up.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
And so when we say we are entering and I'm going to put something on the screen real quick. When we say we are entering the fifth dimensional consciousness, because the Earth is still in 3D, but some people will shift, I guess, to the fifth dimension, and some people will stay on. So some people will stay behind. So was the Atlanteans, the Anunnaki, were they on fifth dimensional consciousness when they were doing all of these things?
They weren't fifth dimensional consciousness before they even got to Earth. They were already at that level. They had already mastered how consciousness and electromagnetic light waves interact with somatic frequencies and photons. So they were able to master how to create things, manifest realities. They call themselves the ordainers of destinies. They literally had the capability of creating and manifesting the destinies that they want to foresee based off of superpositions of outcomes. So they can analyze potential outcomes of information through consciousness, and then they can pull down the outcome that they want, and then they can actually manipulate time itself and manipulate from that present moment to create the outcome that they want to foresee, which is something I taught in my Manifest Destiny workshop the other day. So they were really masters at all this stuff, and their consciousness was at such a high level. It was, we are multidimensional beings. Our consciousness is multidimensional. The avatar body is 3-dimensional. So our consciousness is multidimensional already, and we're tapping into it. Scientists say that the processes between the synapses between the neurons phase in and out of the 3rd dimension randomly into other dimensions. That's mainstream taught science. Okay, so we already are, but the understanding and the discernment of when it's happening and when you're elevating to a higher level, one of the key things you can use to figure out if you're at a higher level is when you can look back down on other people. Not that you're looking down on them like this if they're bad, but realizing that you have risen to such a high level that the way that the other people around you and the way that you used to think is like totally dead. And so that is truly what really being born again is. Being born again is all about ascending to a higher level of consciousness, not dipping your head in a bucket of water and all this kind of crazy foolishness.
Wow. That's amazing right there, man. I mean, let me show you this too real quick. Because I can't play the video because I don't want to get a copyright strike because this is somebody else's YouTube channel. But I do want to at least, maybe you can see that picture there, Billy?
Yeah, I see it.
So somebody shared this video. Let me just go to her channel, Gina Maria Covenhill. You can check her channel out. I don't want to play the video. If you want to see the video, go to her channel. I don't want to disrespect her. But she had a video, and she said that she's able to see. This is in Cape Town, South Africa. And she said that you are able at this point to see dimensional plasma and that it's alive. And it started moving. And it didn't look like, she just had water in her camera. It looked like, the way it was moving, it didn't look like it was just water stuck in her camera or something like that. So based on all your research and everything you've seen, you're very well traveled. Do you think there's any truth to this video right here?
Well, I can't say that it's not multidimensional plasma. That's an incredible term and an incredible claim to make. What I can say, it could potentially be multidimensional plasma. It could also potentially be a portal. It could be a cloaked UFO. It could be a cloaked base. It could be, there's so many things that it could be. I'll tell you that Cape Town, Africa is a hot spot for UFO and portal type activity for many decades. If you go to 1914, they had the Phantom monoplanes. If you go to the 1960s, they had all these people talking about this giant UFO that was estimated around 20,000 feet. If you go to the 1970s, you got massive sightings in Cape Town again. 1972, 1971, 1976. People were from all different angles were witnessing these giant UFOs with binoculars, with telescopes, with the naked eye. In the 1990s, even all of a sudden you had a lot more viewings in Cape Town, Africa. Triangular craft, which might be TR-3Bs, going to investigate the actual UFOs. You had the Belgian UFOs, which these Belgian UFOs, there was a wave of UFOs. I'm talking about an absolute wave of UFOs that just went across into this area. They went across Europe. They went into Cape Town, South Africa. They went literally almost around the entire planet. And we scrambled jets. Europe scrambled jets. Everybody scrambled jets to try to track these things. They tracked them on actual radar. And the radar is available to the general public, the radar evidence. But no plane, no jet, no fighter jet, nothing can catch up to these things. You know, and all the way up until now, into the 2020s even, again, a lot more sightings. And you know that in South Africa was where you have Adam's calendar from the Sumerian cuneiform tablets, where Enki and Enlil developed the very first gold mines for humans to slave over and dig out the gold. And that area was discovered, and it's actually part of actual real history now. So it really ties into these Anunnaki Atlantean people. It could be these beings are coming back. Maybe they're visiting. Maybe it could even be just a damn tourist attraction. You never know, man. We're so far behind. We don't know what's going on. Yeah. It could be multidimensional plasma, but it still could be so many other things, because the Anunnaki had something called a Duran key, and the Duran key was
what's that? A what?
A Duran key. DURANKI.
Okay.
It's a portal generator, and it was the elite of the elites only. Instead of having to get on a spaceship and rendezvous with their home planet, they can walk through the portal. If they had a Jed Pillar Ankh, they can walk through the portal and arrive on their home planet and walk back.
You said if they had a Jed Pillar Ankh?
A Jed Pillar Ankh. An Ankh with a Jed Pillar on the inside of it. And that Jed Pillar had a condenser on it. It would resonate at the atomic frequency of the owner of the Jed. And that would be the key to walk through the portal.
Man, you dropping some. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Shit, man. Yeah. You ain't telling me that before. You be hiding information, man. You ain't telling me that before, man.
I can't tell everybody everything, man. But this is then. And again, I'll show people when you know me, when I say stuff, I got the text to back it up from the ancient times. So it's all based on the ancient text, and I'll be talking about that extensively on Sunday as well, on the 31st.
So spaceships, like how do you respect what Elon Musk is doing, trying to get to Mars and building in his SpaceX? What's your thoughts on Elon Musk and what he's doing?
Well, Elon Musk, he's a pioneer. He obviously knows that there's an ancient civilization on Mars, which I will show on the 31st in my workshop. I'm going to take everyone to Mars with me live, and we're going to look around on Mars, and we're going to see exactly what Elon Musk already knows, is that there was an ancient civilization up there. He can't talk about it because he has a gag order. The reason why he's going to Mars on a one-way trip, people don't notice. Look it up. Elon Musk, the billionaire, the richest man in the world now, is going to Mars on a one-way trip. He's not coming back. And he's taking 80,000 people with him, and then he's going to come back. Well, his mission is going to overall take, I think, a little over 1 million people. These are all rich people, wealthy people who have butlers and maids and yachts and G5 private jets and Bentleys and Rolls Royces. And just think for a minute. Do you think these people are going to go to Mars on a one-way trip and live in a tin can until they die? Not going to happen. There's an entire infrastructure up there. They're going to go up there and live like kings and queens in the new Elysium, which, by the way, is the name of the area.
That's the name of the area?
That's the name of the area on Mars. Yes, it is. Elysium.
Elysium.
Yeah. You saw that movie?
Wow.
There's a movie, Elysium, where they had built this breakaway civilization above Earth, and only the elites of the elites had access to it. Lifespans were extended, disease eradicated, and everything else.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about there's been rumors for years that Donald Trump and his family, they're into time traveling. They got access to some of Tesla's technology, and that they're able to do a lot of time traveling. Is that just one of the conspiracy theories out there? Is there any truth to that, you think?
Again, I could never knock down somebody's theory, because that means that means all my theories would be knocked down. But what I can say, based on my own personal research, I haven't found any evidence to really support that theory. Is it possible? Anything is possible. But based on my research, without trying to knock down the theory at all. I'm just saying based off of what the information and the intelligence and that I've brought in and all the research I've done, I can't find anything to support that theory right now at this moment. I think if he was able to do that, he would have found a way to win the election. That's my opinion, because all he would have had to do was expose all the pedophilia that this guy's involved in, the new president. Biden, all the pedophilia and all the things he's done. All he would have had to do was expose that long before he had a chance to even become a president.
Yo, Biden can't keep his hands off the woman, boy. He get around the woman, he start touching.
He start touching, kissing. He's fondling little girl's breast. He's grabbing little girls around the waist.
This dude kissed another man's wife one time. I'm like, yo, this dude can't help himself, man.
He's out of control. Smelling their hair, smelling their lips, and all kind of crazy stuff. Whispering in their ears.
Whispering in their ear.
You guys are freak, man.
Big old freak. Biden's a big old freak, man.
He's got an island. He's got a private island next to Epstein's island. Right, the next island over is Biden's island. The island is in his brother's name. It used to be in his. He mortgaged it over to his brother. Now it's in his brother's name, and they have a submarine on that island. Tell me what you think might have been happening over there, and still may even be happening. Those people, and then his father's family has a huge history of drug trafficking, at the elite level, where of course they're never going to go to prison for it. So, all these people, man, that's why I tell people, stop believing in politics. Stop. I'm gonna tell you, the boot's still going to be on the black man's neck, no matter who's in office. You can listen to these Romeo tongue words that they're going to spit out at you. So they're going to tell you everything you want to hear, but in the background, ain't nothing gonna change, man, in terms of like what's really happening out here on these streets. And people forget that his vice president, everybody's proud. Oh, we got a black vice president, a black woman vice. Well, yeah, okay, so what? She had the ability to release a black man off of death row who had evidence that he didn't commit the crimes, and she still let him get executed anyway. And her during her time of when she was she had locked up tons and tons of black people. Most of them on victimless crimes. So man, it's just politricks, man. That's why I tell people, stop worshiping these politricksters and stop taking it like, it's almost like if you follow politicians too hard, you become like a religious person. You just tie in like a religion. And the thing about a politician, people who follow politics and people who really get into religion, there's two things in common. The first thing is they become fanatical. And then the second thing is a person that is heavily involved or believing in those two subjects will want to hurt you for having a different opinion. They'll physically want to put their hands on you and actually kill you or injure you if you go against what their belief system is. And to me, that's detrimental to the human race. And politics and religion have zero place in a golden age in any kind of future that we have in peace and tranquility on this planet.
That's so true. That's so true. I've seen it happen many times where friendships, you lose family members because you have a difference of opinion in religion or politics. So yeah, that's definitely true, man. It's sad, but it's true.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's true. It's sad, but it's true. I tell people, man, if you believe in politricks and you heavy into religion, you'll recycle back into the incarnation cycle. You'll be back again because it means that you're probably just a newborn baby in this cycle. You just got here for the first or second time. They got to come back a few times and learn some lessons and wake up. People who think they're woke and chasing after these politricksters and believing in these politricksters, man. I mean, they have some aspects of consciousness. Don't get me wrong. They can teach people a lot of great things, but at the same time, there's still an area where, they still have some growth in. We got to realize that politricksters, like I say, because I don't like even saying politicians. They're tricksters, man. They're pimps, and these religious people. They develop these ideologies inside of people that carry on from generation to generation that hold mankind back from advancing. And we've come under this idea that we need to let these people rule over us and tell us what to do. And what people keep forgetting is they work for us. We're paying them. We're supposed to tell them what to do. They're not supposed to tell us, y'all got to do this, and if you don't do this, you're going to get locked up. And if you don't do this, you're going to get arrested, and you're going to get fined. And blah, 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 blah. No. You work for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I go to the doctor starts telling me all this stuff. Like, no. You work for me. I'm gonna tell you what I want you to do, and that's it. Don't give me any extra additional things and all this other stuff to get all these other pills. You work for me. I tell you what to do. I tell, that's the way it's got to be. I mean, we relinquish our power too easily. We relinquish our power too easily, and we give it away to these people, to these energy vampires that suck us dry and have us fighting each other while they sit back like fat cats and collect all the money.
Yeah. We even forget that the police work for us.
Thank you.
We even forget that because the roles it done got switched. We forget about that. So
yeah, they work for us, man. That's why I tell people the only way we're going to have a true revolution on this planet and eradicate this system that we're operating, this financial matrix and all this other stuff that's going on with these polytricksters, it's not going to be a war. We don't have to go battling with guns blazing. We don't have to go picketing and protesting. That ain't going to work either. What we got to do is everybody got to say, you know what? We're not going to play the game anymore. We're not going to buy gas. Everybody stock up for like about a year. We're not going to buy gas. We're not going to go to work. We're not going to pay any loans, mortgages, car payments. We're not going to pay credit cards. We're going to withdraw all our money out of the central banking system and take all the cash out. We're going to cash in all of our assets. And we're just going to sit back and relax for a few weeks to see how long y'all can go without us playing y'all game. And I guarantee you what, within 2 weeks, they'll be begging for 300 million Americans to get back in line and do something, because everything will collapse all at once. First of all, if everybody went to the bank on Monday morning, only 10%, 15% of the people are going to get any of the money. The rest of the people ain't going to get the money.
Right.
It doesn't even exist. So that will collapse the bank in one day. But everybody's got to be on the same accord, on the same frequency, with no fear in their heart. You got to realize they can't come and lock up 300 million people. They can't come in and arrest 300 million people for not paying taxes. There's not even a jail. There's not even enough jails on the planet to put 300 million people in.
Great.
People got to realize the power we have.
What type of money system, based on your research, because our financial money system has obviously made us slaves to the banking systems, we're seeing a change, and there's big talk about blockchain technology now being a wave that's going to guarantee us economic sovereignty. What type of economic financial system did they have in antiquity? Well,
they had two systems. One system, which if I tell you, boy, people got to read this book, The Gods of Eden. The Gods of Eden by William Bramley. It's going to be an eye-opener, because you're going to find out, he goes into these ancient Sumerian tablets and he discovers where inflation came from. He discovers how they put this bicameral Congress in and installed it 6,000 years ago in Mesopotamia. They gave us this slave system while they operated in a totally different system themselves. They, meaning these Atlantean people, they had a totally different system. And so they gave us the fake fiat currency monetary system. And so over 1 million tablets have been found. IOUs have been found, just like dollar bills. Over 1 million of them.
Over 1 million IOUs?
Oh, IOUs. So what will happen is, check this out. So they set this system up, and they put mankind under this system. So I have goats, and you got an orange orchard or whatever, right? And so you come to me with 2 satchels of oranges, and I give you 1 goat. You give me 2 satchels of oranges, because we established that that's the value worth. Right. Now you come back again with 2 more satchels of oranges, because you didn't ate that goat or whatever. You need another one, but I got a goat shortage, because goats, for whatever reason, it's one of these crazy holidays, and everybody wants to get a goat now, so I'm out of goats. And so you come back, and I go, look, I don't have one, but give me your oranges, and I'm gonna give you a IOU. Right. They etch it into a little stone tablet about that big. Give it to you. Now you come back a few weeks later. Guess what? I got some goats, but now because of supply and demand, your 1 IOU you have is not enough to get the goat. It's only worth half of a goat. You're going to need another 1 of those to come get a full goat now. And this starts the inflation system 6,000 years ago. And it shows how they just built this system in to keep us financially enslaved all the way back then. Crazy. And then they gave us the bicameral Congress, and they gave us this political system, this polytricking system is what they gave us, and this left and right wing, which is all part of the same bird, and got us going in on each other while they just sit back and just watch and laugh and laugh and laugh. And they're on a totally different system. They're on a system based off of numeric credit, okay? And each one of them had ranking credits. And depending on the rank and how good you are, what you do, puts your level in their society, how high or how low you were in their society, how ranked you were. It was all about ranking system. That's how they did it. So they didn't really have a money system per se at all, you know. And I think that's really where the future of finance needs to go. To a credit type of a base system, an anarchistic type system where everybody's their own boss, everybody's their own business. The police need to be privatized. Everybody just hires private security if you need some security, things like that. And everybody's their own boss, man. There's a lot of barter and trade, and you can get to different levels in society based on how good you are at what you do and how much you help people. I think that's the way that society needs to go versus what we're in right now.
Wow. You know, we talk about money, and we talk about oil, and we talk about gold. For a while now, they've been saying that data is the new oil. So what's your thoughts on them saying our data that we give away for free on these sites is the new oil? That will be that's what everybody's using. These millionaires are using to cake up. What's your thoughts on that? What's going to free us from that?
Yeah, well, data is the new oil now, because
before you go on, Billy, let me share this link. I'm having so much fun. We weren't supposed to be that long tonight, family, but we're already 36 minutes in. I see it's over 1,000 of y'all in the chat room. Let me share this link. What we're talking about today is we're tapping into this ancient Atlantean consciousness, because right now we are entering fifth dimensional consciousness. It's easy to tap into than it was, say, 15 years ago. So don't criticize your parents if they're not there, or your grandparents or your neighbors. It wasn't that we got on. It's a little easier now. So hey, now's the time, fam. That's why we got the circus show going on, and that's why you have to pay attention more than ever to yourself right now. I just shared the link right there, family. But go ahead, Billy. Ask about the data.
Yeah, so the data is the new oil. That's how, data mining, just like, you would actually dig for oil, mine for oil or any other resource. Data mining is massive now, so data is what's taking over the planet, because corporations, big corporations, they finally realized that, through everybody being on this online system, it actually collects a lot of information about a person. And all that information can then be utilized to target ads, sales, marketing campaigns, understand and track people. This is why now, if you look up one thing online to buy, like I've been trying to, buy furniture for my house, right? And different type of accent tables. So now every time I turn my computer on or go online, all I get is different companies' accent tables from all these different furniture stores that that just randomly now are hitting me, because they got my metadata, META metadata, and they've gotten it now through Google or whoever else, and they've now target marketed me for these types of accent tables. So they can do that with anything. And now in the future, as you walk down the street and pass a specific type of store, ads will pop up probably inside of your glasses or in your contact lenses or on your phone or whatever mobile device you're carrying, or maybe on your smart watch. And they'll be able to tell you, look, if turn left, go in the store right now, because we know you're interested in these tables, and this store has a table that you looked at online 2 weeks ago, and it's on sale right now. So they found that with this metadata, they can track our every move and know everything about us, everything we want, desire. They can even predict. They can predict what we're gonna actually want in the future, even. So data is the key, and that's why that new social media company, Clubhouse, which I'm on there, I got a Clubhouse. They just got a $1 billion valuation.
It's
all about that, and that's where I'm trying to go with United 99. I think once I get to 1 million in United 99, it will be about a valuation of $1 billion as well on my social media app. So it's all about data, but of course, to get the billion, you got to sell out the company. That's the only thing that sucks about it. But of course, that's they don't care. It's trying to come up and make that hit. Maybe they'll be given still the rights to run part or some of, or maybe oversee or manage, but overall the data will then go into that huge giant data bank that exists, on all these massive servers, you know, and that's really what it's about. I do want to say one thing real quick before we go on, because I saw somebody in the chat say the Sumerians didn't come up with the first anything. I think a lot of people, black people, have a misconception that everything started in Africa, and I'm here to tell you it didn't. Now, if you doubt that, we can match passport to passport stamp, and we can match ancient text to ancient text, and I will guarantee you that the Africa was Kemet. Kemet started back up after the Great Flood. Prior to the Great Flood, all the evidence points to Mesopotamia, which is the Middle East. And it doesn't mean that black people weren't in the Middle East. It just means that the pinpoint area or location of where things kick-started off, and they call them the Blackface People in the Sumerian cuneiform tablets, that was in Sumeria, Mesopotamia area. And that is where a lot of stuff kicked off. They call that the cradle of civilization.
For present-day Iraq.
Present-day Iraq, correct, 100%. The people look different over time, obviously, but that's where it started. After the Great Flood subsided, according to the Emerald Tablets and other texts and Sumerian texts, things kick-started back up fresh. They moved headquarters over to Kemet. That's where it began again. And the same Blackface people, they started off with those people again and then spread around the planet. So yes, black people had a huge part in ancient, deep ancient history. However, Africa itself, what we call it nowadays modern Africa, based on what we've now said this is Africa, wasn't that geographic location wasn't the start of everything on this planet. I hate to tell you that, but it's facts. Got to be facts. We got to be honest with ourselves, and we got to know. It doesn't mean that black people weren't involved in Mesopotamia, because they were called the Blackface people, so they were black people in Mesopotamia, in Sumeria. But I'm just saying that's where you had the Sumerian kings list. I'm going to go over this extensively on Sunday. Hopefully people are open to drop their ego and learn some things on Sunday, and so they can know the truth and know what's really going on out here, and stop saying things that don't make any sense or things that never actually happened just because of emotion and how they feel, not really based on any reading or studying of anything. We got to really dig deep, and we got to really be more well-versed on ancient history.
Yeah, a brother named Bobby Hemmett, I don't know if you ever heard of him. He used to talk about that. He's actually said that that area in Iraq, all of that going all the way into Egypt, that was the ancient Kushite Empire.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
absolutely right.
Yeah, he used to talk about that a lot. The ancient Kushite Empire, so it went that whole,
that whole area.
Yeah.
It was massive. We now reconstructed it. Oh, this is Africa, and this is it was all one big area.
Right, but with your research at one time, wasn't all the continents connected together?
No,
or was that just no?
Yeah. So based on my research, so this idea of Pangea, where all the continents were connected, it's kind of hard to because I've studied geology extensively, planetary physics extensively, and you start to learn a couple things about accretion disks, and how planets coalesce and how things form, and you begin to realize if you start off with a Pangea, you cannot have a planet that's balanced, that doesn't slip off of its axis, because too much landmass on one side causes a pole shift of the crust, and so the planet will be consistently unstable all the time, and because of that unstable land mass, there would be too many catastrophes going on. It would be very turbulent on the surface, and life wouldn't be able to prosper. So the hypothesis of the Pangea doesn't really particularly fit. Now, during the process of when Earth broke away from Tiamat, which I'm covering this stuff you're bringing up is great because I'm covering this on Sunday. When Tiamat exploded and a huge chunk swung away and became the Earth, that hot molten piece recoalesced, and then it developed, it spread, and it re-expanded and reformed into a sphere again, the broken piece, and a lot of the water and everything started coming back as it developed a weather cycle. Then you have the Earth that we're on right now. And now if you look at some of the continents, you can say, oh, it looks like it was a giant puzzle at one point. Well, when it broke away, it was a giant chunk of rock. And as it reformed or recoalesced into this, what we now call, Earth, pieces broke apart from other pieces or expanded really into other areas. But to have a planet with one landmass and have a stable weather environment to develop, highly unlikely that that's the case. Highly unlikely.
Interesting. So what happened to the rest of Tiamat?
The rest of it became the asteroid belt. You have the asteroid belt, and you have one other planet that's there. A lot of people don't know about this planet. There's a planet in our solar system with more fresh water on it than Earth. So you have Mercury, then you have Venus, then you have Earth, then you have Mars, which used to be a moon of Tiamat. Now it's its own planet because Tiamat exploded. Then you have Ceres, Ceres. There's another planet there. You don't hear about it that often because there's lights on the planet and there's water on the planet all over the place, liquid water. And then after Ceres, you have the asteroid belt. And then after the asteroid belt, you have all the, the giants. So, so it became the asteroid belt. A small chunk of it became Ceres and the other bigger chunk of it became Earth.
You're not talking about Sirius, right?
Not Sirius. That's a star system.
Yeah.
2 light years away. We're talking about Ceres, Ceres. There's an actual planet named Ceres in our solar system. It's in, you can actually look it up.
Why they don't never talk about it?
Because there's lights on the planet. When we flew by, we saw lights on the planet on the dark side, on the side not facing the sun at that moment. They can't explain why there's lights on there. I know why there's lights on. People are living there. And the planet is covered in water and land. So land mass on top, and then just like Earth, water all around, liquid water, billions and billions of tons of fresh liquid water all over the planet. And most likely there's probably life there. So they keep it a secret, but they probably explore or research it on their own so they can come up with whatever exploitation that they're looking to do. Because, it's all about exploitation at this point.
Shit, man. Wow, you make my head hurt sometime with all that, man. Man.
It's a lot going on out here.
Yeah, we've been lied to so much, man. We've been lied to so much, bro.
Yeah.
What, usually things got to happen. I'm going to take a couple of questions from the family. Like I said, we're not going to be here too long tonight. Billy he's going to come back actually Friday, right before the workshop. And he got some breathtaking slides he's going to show the family on Friday. So tune back in Friday. He'll be back. But I want to ask you this. What usually to be interested in this level of information, you've seen, I don't know if I asked you this before, you've seen something. I know you've seen aliens and stuff like that before, but I'm not talking about necessary aliens. But did something happen in your life personally that demonstrated a miraculous power within you that you said, shit, I got to find out who I am because I'm being lied to? Me and Blue Pill the other day, we did a show and we was talking about how mothers, sometimes when their children are trapped under a car, they'll get this miraculous strength and lift up a car. I know mothers that broke windows with their buttocks, broke windows just to save a baby or whatever. So what has anything happened to you that you've seen this Hulk-like strength within you, or somebody that made you say, yeah, there's some other shit going on here that I need to tap into?
Well, since we're talking about mothers, man, my mother, rest her soul. She's been gone now for 11 years. She told me, think about this. Just think about this time frame. 1978. 78. There's no cable TV, no cell phones, no pagers. There's no real alien shows coming on. There's 4 channels on the tube, right? That's it. My mother tells me about ancient airports around the planet, specifically in Peru on tops of mountains, that there were ancient airports, that there were, she didn't say aliens, she said advanced beings that visited Earth and interacted with mankind, and that everything that we have now is a rediscovery of what already existed. And when my mom told me that, and the reason why she told me this is I was standing up looking at the picture window in Miami, Florida, out of our house that we were renting, and I was staring up at the sky, and she said, "What's wrong, son?" And I said, "I just feel like I don't belong here. I just feel like something's weird with this world." And that's when she started telling me about these aliens and these beings. Again, she didn't say aliens, but she said advanced beings. And she started telling me about them and telling me that ancient civilizations exist that were way more advanced than we are, and everything that we have now is simply only a rediscovery. And that became like my empowering quest to learn more about what she was trying to tell me, and also to travel to Peru, which I eventually did, which is why I dedicated my first book to my mother. because I got to go to exactly and fly over the Nazca lines. I got to go to Machu Picchu, what she was telling me about back in 1978. She was, listen, my mother was wise. She was a genius, you know. And so yeah, that would say for the moment, that would be the moment for me where I really had like a wow moment and realized that what I was just kind of feeling was actually true. And that just set me on a whole path of studying and researching and really setting myself up to become a world traveler, you know, as a young man, which I ended up doing.
You know, me personally, you know, a lot of things have happened to me. I've talked to the family a lot of times about the car accident I've been in. One of the things I seen happen, I was just, you know, just passing by, and I seen something amazing. There was a car probably going New York City street, probably going about 20 miles an hour. And a little girl was crossing the street. Little girl probably was like 6 years old or something like that. And the car did not slow down at all. For whatever reason, the car did not see the little girl. I don't know if the little girl just ran out, but the car stopped literally probably 10, 12 inches, a foot from the girl. I'm talking about so fast. I've never seen, like, something had to stop it. The girl screamed. The girl, like, everybody thought it was over. And the car was just zooming, and then it just stopped, like, suddenly, like something, a force just stopped it. Then I was like, yo, there's forces that I can't see that are able to affect this matrix right here. And I was like, yo, I got to find out about this invisible realm, because obviously we know about the visible realm, but I was like, yo, there's an invisible realm that's able to do things out here. Because the way this car stopped, it was just like, yo, it was just you had to be there to see it. That's one example, man. But
right. There's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on, and I've seen some things in my life that just make you scratch your head and go, how did this person escape this? How did this happen? You know, and then, you know, we have this power inside of us, this strength inside of us when we need it, that we tap into. The adrenaline kicks in and it supercharges our avatar bodies and gives us super strength for a short period of time, and then we're capable of doing the most incredible things. You know, I saw these two two brothers were playing inside of a bedroom. They had the little bedroom camera in there to monitor the monitor camera, and it showed that they were trying to climb up a desk, a dresser, for some weird reason. It collapses and falls on top of one of the toddlers. The other toddlers can't figure out how to get his brother from underneath this thing. He literally taps into his power and he pushes and lifts this dresser off of his brother to save him from being crushed by this dresser. You know, so we have that power inside of us. We have the capability of becoming supercharged for a short period of time. When that adrenaline spikes and kicks in, it ignites all the muscle fibers in our body. And what it does to the muscle fibers is it shrinks them. It makes them tight. So if a person can dunk really like a 40-inch vertical leap, they have really tight, not close-in muscle fibers. If a person has like only a 20-inch vertical, the muscle fibers are more stretched out. When the adrenaline kicks in, everything tightens up and gives you that extra spring that you need in your muscle fibers that give you that extra strength to lift and move things. So it's really incredible.
Well, you know, there's a theory flowing on the internet. You just talked about what adrenaline has the ability to do for us. There's a theory going on the internet that says that the Hollywood elite, all these kidnappings, they take the adrenaline. They take the adrenaline from kids, scare them or do something where they got all this adrenaline, and they take the adrenaline from them, and that's how they're living long, because they inject adrenaline within them. I think they call it adrenochrome.
Yeah, I believe it. You know, I don't know who's doing it. I can't give you any names. I know scientifically it makes sense that people would do that. So I saw some of these movie stars on some of these talk shows, using foreskin to keep the wrinkles away and all this. They're doing some crazy stuff. They're painting feces on the wall and they're doing all this crazy stuff. They're doing all these rituals and they talk about it openly. So the fact that they would do something like that, and the fact that former FBI agents have come forward talking about the fact that they were actually involved in the trafficking of children and women. And Senator Cynthia McKinney came on in a House Senate meeting and really grilled Donald Rumsfeld at that time So the fact that the United States government the Pentagon had given contracts to a company that they knew were trafficking women and children, and they gave them the contract, and there was some type of collaboration going on with this, and she exposed this in a live Senate hearing on a CCTV, or we call it one of those TV channels that show all the Senates and the Congress. So really interesting. So it's real stuff, man. They're really into this sick stuff. It's really unfortunate that they would do that, but to me, it really makes a lot of sense that they would do it since they're already doing all this other dark stuff.
What kind of, we talk a lot about time. There was an article the other day that said time is speeding up and that they might take, I think they said they might take a second off or a millisecond off the clock or something like that to keep up with, I don't know the scientific terms, but did you see that article?
Yeah, I didn't see the article, but I know that based on the atomic clock, time is moving like 2 Planck units faster or some ridiculously small amount of time, but there is an adjustment that needs to be made, even to the GPS system.
Okay, so we have a certain time construct that we follow, and we say 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When we talk about Atlantis and the Anunnaki, what time construct did they use? Because obviously they was able, there's these memes on the internet that says we think of time linear, but time is what's that word? Circular? What's that word?
Cyclical.
Cyclical. They say time is really cyclical. So we're observing it, and that's what's keeping us so locked down. So how exactly did they view time in ancient Atlantis? Because obviously I want to get back to that, man.
Right. Well, they had a really long golden age. They were a breakaway civilization, and for a period of time, there was a tranquility, peace on Earth with those Atlanteans as they came here and elevated these advanced capitals all around the planet. Now they understood time in a way that we are just now starting to really understand time. They understood that time was an illusion. They understood that time was given that humans or sentient beings give an arrow of time so we could point in a specific direction to accomplish things while in the third dimension. But at the same time, they understood that time was malleable, and it was based on the person perceiving time at that moment and place and where they were on either Earth, stationary, were they next to something massive? Like if you stand next to the Great Pyramid, time slows down for you. Okay, time actually ticks slower when you're standing next to mass. So if you stand next to the Great Pyramid, time slows down. If you're in an airplane flying away from me and I'm looking up from the ground, your time is slowing down as you fly. As the faster you move, the slower time moves for you, ticks for you. And me, because I'm stationary, time is ticking at a faster pace for me. That's why if I fly away from Earth at the speed of light and come back in 2 light years, you'll be 30 years older and I'll be almost the same age. So, it's incredible, this time thing. The faster you go, the slower time is. So time travel is real. So if these beings had the capability of achieving a percentage of the speed of light, you don't have to even achieve the full speed of light. If you can achieve 5 to 10% of the speed of light, you can time travel and you can come back to a location where everybody has long aged, and maybe even a lot of people have passed away, and civilization could be even more advanced or less advanced when you arrive, depending on if they destroyed themselves or not. They knew how to do this. I think that they also knew how to travel back in time. I really do that as well, that some of them knew how to do that. And the ones who were calling themselves the ordainers of destiny, I think that they really had these time crystals that they talk about that let them get a vision as to possible outcomes and how they can manipulate those outcomes.
Wow. Do you think when we mention the soul, like we say when we say we're multidimensional beings and our soul extends deeper than the third dimension, is that feedback coming from my end? Is that or is that your end?
I don't hear any feedback.
Oh, some reason when I'm talking. Let me know if y'all hear me good, fam. Okay, no, it just went away. That was weird.
That was weird, yeah.
That's that weird stuff, family. We're talking about this. All of a sudden, I'm hearing feedback.
They're tapping now. They're listening.
Hey, I might be tuning. I might be tuning into a frequency. And what's that planet you said, Billy? Sirius might be listening to us, man.
Listening,
man.
Shout
out to the beings and Sirius, man. Shout out to y'all. Hey. But listen, when we talk about the soul, obviously we have a limited understanding based on our limited knowledge and our limited programming. Is it possible for the soul to incarnate in several different bodies in the same life experience? Like we've been taught that, okay, you got one life, then you die, you incarnate into another life, and then another life and another life. Is it possible in one timeline, like right now in what we call 2020, Billy Carson could be 8 different people, and that's why you're so successful, because every time you try to do something, another version of yourself helps you get to that level. So it's really just you assisting you the whole time. Do you think that's possible?
1000% possible. So this is a project called the 2045 project they're doing in Russia, and in America, in the military, they have something called the Avatar Project. Okay. And the Avatar Project is a black budget project that was labeled and issued out in terms of what the itinerary was or the agenda was, but just a brief summary so they can designate billions of dollars to it without having to answer any questions. But both projects are all about transferring human consciousness into another entity or into another body. With the Avatar Project, what they've done is they've transferred human consciousness into a field robot. And so that if the field robot is out there doing military drills and it gets blown up or injured, that the soldier just comes out of that symbiotic relationship, and the soldier's in a bunker somewhere perfectly healthy. Okay, kind of like the movie Avatar. That's why they call it the Avatar Project. In Russia, in the 2045 project, their first thing that they did was they transferred a monkey's consciousness into a computer. The monkey's body was deceased. They sent the mind into the computer. The monkey's eating bananas, climbing trees. It thinks it's alive. Then the next step by 2010, which they've already done, was to transfer a human consciousness into a robot, which we've already done that here in the States as well. And by 2045, the goal is to use stem cells to clone a human body to the exact age that you paid for, whatever age it is you want to be, and transfer your consciousness into that new avatar body that came from your own stem cells. So now keep that in mind. Let's add to that. What is stopping me? Because once you take my consciousness now and transfer it into a computer that then is able to transfer it to another avatar, right? What's stopping me from lining up 10 avatars and downloading that same consciousness into every single avatar and creating 10 copies of myself? Did you see them? Have you ever seen the series Westworld?
Yes, I haven't seen the new episodes, but I've seen the first season.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but what I just said is something kind of on that line. So you can have multiple copies of yourself, even in multiple avatars. They could all be different bodies. They can be even different genders, and it could be you inside of every single one of their heads.
So, but if they're trying to do that, because we're dealing with as above, so below, and we're emulating the technology we use, are emulating, a bigger technology. Are we already doing that on a soul level? Because they're doing that on a human level, but does the soul already do that to begin with, and they're just trying to replicate what the soul is already doing? Do you think it's something like that?
Well, the universal consciousness, which issues out the souls into the universe, is only one soul. There's only one consciousness. There's only one soul. Only one soul exists. Your soul is not separate from my soul.
Right.
Illusion. What happens is consciousness sends out these frequencies. It's like legs of like an octopus, and each one of those legs or arms has has a different frequency. So even though it's one consciousness, it's like a radio station in your neighborhood. It transmits out 99.1, 99.2, 99.3, 99.4. I'm 0.1, you're 0.2, she's 0.3, so forth and so on. Right. It's all coming from the same exact source. So we then get this slightly differently tuned frequency, still coming from the same location, and we say, oh, I'm me and you're you. In true reality, we're all aspects of the one divine soul to experience itself subjectively from different perspectives.
Indeed. Listen, family, man, this is a amazing talk. I'm glad to present it with y'all. I'm glad y'all in the building. We got about 1,500 people in the chat. I want to take a question before we get out of here.
That was weird.
Yeah, Billy, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
Now I can't hear.
Oh wow, I'm here.
Give me a second, y'all.
Okay.
Weird things is
That's crazy.
Give me a second. Check. I can't hear. Cannot hear no more. Let me
Can you hear me? Testing. 1 2 1 2.
check.
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear you anymore for some reason. I can't.
Wow. Let me mute.
Okay, so y'all can hear me, but for some reason I can't hear.
I'm here. Testing.
Yeah, I can't hear Billy Carson anymore for some reason. Wow. Something just happened. I can't.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm seeing if I could default speaker, default mic.
Testing. Let me see if I could change my information here. Mic.
Yeah.
Audio.
Check.
Testing. My mic says it's hot. over here.
Let me see something, family. Oh man. Yeah, I know y'all. Yeah, I know y'all hear me, but I can't hear. I can't hear Bill. I don't know what happened. Well, I know me. Give me a
Testing. 1 2 1 2. Testing. Yeah, I can hear everything fine. I can hear everything, man.
Man, family. Man. All right, family. Okay. I think I might be able to. All right, Billy, I hear you now.
Yeah.
Talk real quick.
Test. Okay.
Woo, man. Hey, we better hurry and get over here, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, man. I don't know what happened. That's weird. Yeah. My mic is hot. My mic never stopped, so I don't know what happened.
Okay. I hear you. Okay, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Mercury and okay. I'm a Virgo. I hear you.
Okay, cool.
Who told me that? All right. I forgot what I was just. Did I ask the question already, or was I about to ask the question?
You were about to ask me a question with somebody in the chat.
Right. Give me a question, family, before we get out of here. Give me a question.
By the way, shout out to Copper Child Mike for giving me this hat back in New York, in Brooklyn. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. I appreciate this hat. I never got a chance to really give you a solid shout out for making this hat for me, man. So thank you very much.
Indeed. Give me a question for my brother Billy. If the sound goes out again, we're just gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna see you on Friday. Yeah. But let's get a question going on. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. Dreams are two different beings. Why is that? I don't quite understand this question. I don't know if you can see the screen, Billy.
I can't. Oh yeah. So my question is, why is it that Sirius is connected with the?
I guess the dead or the aliens. But I don't quite understand that question.
Yeah. What does those emojis mean?
Yeah. What happens? Okay. So somebody says, has Dolph reincarnated himself in this era?
That's a great question, Tyrone. Great question. So I believe that he has, to be honest with you. I believe that he keeps coming back in multiple eras, and there's quiet times where he's around, and he even travels to other planets, according to him in his own tablets, his own writings. So it's a possibility that he even was Yeshua. I think he got tired of transferring into created avatar bodies, and even transferred into a human womb and came out as Yeshua through kind of an IVF type of advanced technology and lived that way. And then I think, again, to continue to incarnate, because this being talks about the fact that he incarnates at will in and where he desires. So it's very possible that he's still around, that he could be not, maybe, the way we experience time as a human being is literally less than a blink of an eye. because we only live for 80 years in most cases. But Thoth, a being that lives for tens of thousands of years, for eons, he may go away for 1,000 or 2 years. So all of a sudden, you know, to us, it's like this guy left and never came back. He's just taking a trip around the galaxy and then coming back. So, and the reason why I say that is because when I went to Australia in 2020, in the beginning of 2020, right before the pandemic happened, I went out into the bush and the fires and everything. There's this gigantic stone area in the ground that depicts Thoth on a spaceship riding through the galaxy, through the Milky Way galaxy. Okay, they call him Thought Me, just like he does in the Emerald Tablets. The Aborigines call him Thought Me.
You should bring that on Friday, bro, to the presentation you're going to show us. You should show that.
I can show it. It's actually going to be in the documentary. I'm making a documentary in the documentary called Gospel This, but I'll show it. It's okay. I can show it because it's not like I'm the only person that has a copy of this, this gigantic. And how we know it's ancient? There's patina growing inside the glyph, etched into the stone.
What's that? What's that? I don't know what that is.
It's this algae type plant growth that grows inside of crevices on stone. Okay. Right. So you can age that by that material. You can age it. You can't really age stone, but you can age the stuff that grows on the stone. Right. And it will give you an idea as to how old this thing is. This thing is like 5,000 years old. Okay. He was known as the galactic traveler back then to the Aborigines. So in my opinion, I think he's still alive. I think he's still transferring into different bodies and living on. And he could be that he's just not on this planet at this exact moment. He could be anywhere in any star system at this moment, maybe even help raise other civilizations to a higher level. And then he could be on his way back to check and see how we've done. Because according to his tablets, he says he's going to come back to check on the progress of mankind.
Whew. Amazing.
Yeah.
JRC says, what race of beings would you say are in the planet Ceres?
Good question, JRC. I believe that there's, the hominid body type like we are, because there's lights on this planet. So I think they're just technology. And I think that even though there's animals on Earth that are in terms of IQ are smarter than human beings, believe it or not, there's animals on Earth that are smarter. Elephants and whales and dolphins and stuff, they're smarter than human beings, IQ wise, but they don't have these. And because they don't have these, they can't manipulate the environment. And because they can't manipulate the environment, they can't create a spaceship that can take them into space and build structures and buildings and turn lights on. So when you see lights on, I start to believe that there's something that's a bipedal, bilateral hominid. So we have the hominid body type. We're bilateral, which means I can cut myself in half and you're going to get 2 equal halves. And then we're bipedal. We stand straight up and we walk and we manipulate the environment around us. So I believe that the beings on Ceres are most likely bilateral, bipedal hominids of some type that exist. They may be much smaller than us because Ceres is a much smaller planet. So because it's a smaller planet with lower gravity and lower size, the people there may be tiny, but not, they may be 2 feet, 3 feet, whatever they are, whatever the beings are. I don't think they're going to be 6 to 10 feet tall like humans, but they'll most likely be much smaller people. But still, if you can turn lights on, you got to have something to manipulate your environment.
Black people, we want to know if our cousins is up there, man. We want to know if our cousins is up there, man.
I think we're all cousins. I think we're all cousins, man, of each other, I think all of this DNA that we have in all these different planets and moons can be traced all the way back to the Pleiadian star system, which is what I'm going to talk about in ancient texts and demonstrate it on Sunday, January 31st in the workshop.
Let me share that link again. While I share that link, I got another good question. I'm gonna let you read this one while I share this link.
Okay. Genesis the God says, ask Billy about Ayin Sof and the circle dot. The highest of science, the ancient oral tradition, not a bigger question going to be asked. That's the highest idea no one's talking about. Okay, so you're talking about, I think you might be talking about the language of light. Does it respond to that?
I don't know. Genesis, if you want to elaborate, you can elaborate, but that's all he says right there. Genesis, if you want to elaborate on that question, You could elaborate on it so Billy can have a more of an understanding. Pre-creation. He's talking about pre-creation.
Okay, so my pre-creation. So he's talking about. Are you talking about
before the universe, before when it was just blackness, before God said, "Let there be light," or before the Big Bang?
Well, then we're talking about the Kemetic principles, where Thoth talks about the fact that all is mind.
He said the circle is the all before creation.
That's what it is. The first, I did a whole presentation. Matter of fact, I talked about this at the I Imagination workshop in Brooklyn with you, brother Rich. So it starts off with a circle. So consciousness or the divinity, pre anything in the universe, starts off as one circle. And just like a cell operates with mitosis, where you get cell division, the circle divides into two, with the diameter overlapping the other diameter, and now you have two circles. And then you continue to get another circle until you have 6 overlapping circles on top of one circle, and now you have a seed of life, and that develops. And now in the process there, you have where the circles overlap, you have this section called the vesica piscis, or the vesica piscis, however you want to say it. Christian people call it the Pisces, the fish. They don't really know that what they're talking about has nothing to do with Jesus. It has to do with the sacred geometry. And so out of the vesica piscis, each one of these is a womb of energy, a womb of life. All life comes out of wombs. Okay, all life, including everything in this entire universe. So once consciousness created itself into this seed of life, which is this grouping of circles through this as above, so below type of mitosis, it then starts emanating energetic energy into the third dimension through the vesica piscis. And the proof that this exists, so a doctor took a flask, a scientist took a flask, he sterilized it with heat and sealed it, vacuumed it and sealed it. There's nothing in this flask. He comes back a few days later, he analyzes the interior of the flask with an electron microscope, and guess what he finds? Fully formed life forms on a microscopic level inside a sterilized, sealed vacuum flask, which tells us that energetically life is flowing into the third dimension 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from every angle. And it's all coming through these vesica piscis. That's where the energy, that's where the life-giving force, the life force that creates everything we see, all the frequencies and vibrations come through the vesica piscis out of the seed of life, which as you expand the circles more, of course, you go from the seed of life to the fruit of life, and then eventually to the tree of life, which to me, the tree of life is the face of God. People keep looking to call God a man or call God him and he's able and all this other kind of stuff. There is no he, there is no him. Stop giving God a gender. Genders don't exist at the divine level, okay? God is a frequency that you have to tune into. And the face of God, to me, in my opinion, after doing all my research for all these years and reading all these books and scriptures and text, is the flower of life, is the face of God.
Let me there's something.
Oh, Shara Star Goddess. What's up, Shara? All right.
Peace to Cheryl. Yeah, I just shared. This is interesting. This is not a question, but Mayat says Sirius is the mental mind of Sirius A, B, and C. That's interesting. What's your thoughts on that?
That's a topic I have never researched in terms of mind, so I mean, I don't know. All I know is I've researched the planet itself with all the science data that is available. And I find that based on the science data, even the European Space Agency and NASA don't even understand why the lights are on. They come up with these crazy, banal explanations that maybe it's ice crystals that reflected light or stored energy from the sun, and now they're reflecting it back on the dark. They can't come up with it, so they make up all these mishmash scientific terms to get people confused and try to dismiss it. The truth is they don't even know. They don't know how and they don't know how it has all this liquid water. They don't know how it's got all these lights on. So other than that, in terms of it being a consciousness or a mind or anything to do with Sirius A, B, and C, I just haven't come across that research. It doesn't mean it's not possible. I just have not come across that research yet myself.
We're going to get into one more question, family. Like I said, The brother has a workshop coming up this Sunday, but he will be back Friday to kick it with us a little more. Damn, I just seen this. Okay. Keisha, what's going on, Keisha?
Hey, Keisha Martin. What's up, Keisha?
What was the relationship with Thoth and Newt?
Okay, so Thoth and Newt, they were relatives actually. And so Newt, really Newt is really amazing because Newt explains, she is a female goddess and she teaches mankind about the nature of the Milky Way galaxy itself. And so there's this famous glyph and artwork in Egypt all over the place that shows her bending her body backwards over the sky with all the stars in it. No, it's not a dome. It's because she's showing the Milky Way galaxy as it's the swath of it that goes across the sky. But now, as I got deeper into it, I found out that it's actually not the Milky Way galaxy, which makes it even more exciting. That swath of stars going across the night sky, astrophysicists and astronomers have now completely come to terms with it and published it, and now updating all the books, all the astrophysics and astronomy books, as to what that swath across the sky of stars is when you go to a place with no light pollution, and that is the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy merging with the Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way is actually sucking in and absorbing another galaxy altogether called the Sagittarius dwarf. Not the Sagittarius constellation, that's something totally different. There's actually another galaxy that's out there that's smaller than the Milky Way, that the Milky Way is gobbling up at this exact moment, and it creates that swath across the sky. And the ancient Egyptians from Kemet and everything else, the Natiru, Nut and Thoth were the Natiru, were telling us about this swath of stars. They were telling us that it's not part of the Milky Way. We're pointing to it over and over again. This is where we come from. We, meaning this entire solar system. We found now, scientists found that our solar system did not originate in the Milky Way. It was dropped in here from another galaxy that merged with the Milky Way, called the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. I'm going to present all that science on Sunday.
Man, yeah, oh man, this is I could be on here till 4 in the morning, man. That's how much I love this information. I'm gonna have some interesting dreams after this talk tonight. About 1 or 2 more quick questions. You ain't got to spend too long on these questions. I just want to get to this. Tito Johnson says, do we live inside our consciousness when we die? That's very interesting because people say that when our ancestors die, let's say my father passed away or whatever, they now live inside of me or my consciousness. So talk a little bit about that, Billy.
Yeah, so there's a new science video that just came out with some scientists, biologists that discovered that after a person dies, that they continue to live on. And even after the physical avatar body, the heart has stopped and the brain has actually stopped, and they have been dead. When they have come back within less than an hour, if they're able to bring them back to life, they find, based on the data over a significant period of time, because they have, of course, a lot of cases now that they could study, they discovered that 40% of the people that came back to life within 1 hour after being clinically dead came back with full recollection of being dead, leaving out of the body, and seeing everything that was going on, and even hearing conversations, even though the brain activity was at 0 and the heart was completely stopped. So that means in their new science paper that they've written is that there is a life after death. There's a consciousness that still exists, that still identifies with that avatar body for a period of time, that they can't say anything more than 1 hour, but they know that there is something that exists after you physically die in the 3rd dimension. There is a higher dimensional self of you that exists and actually has functions, and it can hear, can bring back information, can save memories still, and then come back into the body and then reanimate and then bring the information back to the people that are alive now in this, what we call alive in this 3rd dimension. So your consciousness is what's the word I'm looking for? Is immortal. You are, or every single one of us is already immortal. Okay, and that's what we have to really understand. Stop trying to pray for immortality. Stop begging some deity to make you immortal, to live forever. You already are immortal.
Indeed. Let me share this link again, family. So I want y'all to get this link to this workshop if y'all interested to go to dive real deep waters. I just shared it in the chat. I hope that link is coming out good and y'all can click on it. But I just shared. It's going to be in the description area of the video also. If you rewatch this video, I'm gonna get one more, just one more. Y'all seen one? All right, let me get this one because I know Billy talked about this before. Bed-Stuy 187 Metro says, "What's under the ice in Antarctica? Your perspective."
Under the ice in Antarctica, great question, Bed-Stuy, by the way. There's an entire ancient civilization there, completely buried in ice. So when you analyze Antarctica, a couple incredible things come to mind. First of all, every time they find an animal that has now come up out of the ice, like a frozen mammoth or a frozen, tiger, Siberian tiger, and all these other kind of animals, whatever, they opened up their bodies and they find undigested food in their stomachs. Now, how in the world can you die? Can all the animals they dig up out of the ice have undigested food in their stomachs? That means that they were snap frozen or flash frozen. And how could this be? When you start analyzing Antarctica and you start analyzing what is coming out of the ice, like that giant pyramid that's down there, that's larger than the pyramid in Egypt, you begin to realize this probably was a civilization there that wasn't icy and frozen. And then you hear about the fact that Earth's crust shifts from time to time. And according to the Mayans, we've gone through 4 worlds or 4 shifts. It could be that these are the pole shifts of the crust of the planet. And so now even some mainstream scientists are saying that Antarctica most likely was in a more favorable climatic location. And then we had a crust shift where it moved into that position at a very rapid pace, flash freezing everything and everyone, and killing them there and freezing them into a time capsule. So in my opinion, that area in Antarctica was in a much more habitable location and then shifted through a pole shift of the crust of the Earth itself into that position, and everything was flash frozen, and then we had all the ice and the snow combined and built up. If we can ever drain that area out, what we will find will be some of the greatest treasures. And I think they already know that because they're already down there anyway. They, meaning the continents of the world. There's a research base there with every major continent. And it's a no war zone. You can't bring weapons in to kill and fight and everything else. And there's a huge opening where they're all these research facilities. If you go to Google Earth, they're all butted up against this gigantic hole in the ice. So they're down there doing something, probably looking for the same stuff we're talking about now, remnants of an ancient civilization.
Indeed. Oh man. Something, I showed you that picture earlier. One thing Shara said, shout out once again to Shara, Star Goddess. Make sure y'all go to her YouTube channel. In the comments, she said that plasma is intelligence. Could you just touch on that real quick? Because I know you touched on plasma before, and people, when they hear that word, they may not even know what plasma is. So could you talk about what exactly is plasma?
Plasma is heated gases. Okay, so plasma is heated gases that give off a specific frequency of light that can then be, if you have the capability, like in a plasma TV, when they first came out, you can manipulate that heated gas and that light to, you can program that light to give off data, and that data can be converted into zeros and ones, which it could then be, can show you an image on a TV screen, right? So plasma is intelligence, and plasma has intelligence. Well, everything has intelligence because everything has electrons. But plasma gases definitely are a form of conscious gas that we have learned how to manipulate and convert into data and give people the capability of seeing information on a screen and many other things as well. So plasma definitely has a level of intelligence to it. It moves, it changes shape, it duplicates itself, it grows. It's like a living thing, so it's really amazing.
I think I heard Deepak Chopra say before, you know how you say there's nothing exists outside of us. I think he said it's just plasma. There's nothing outside of us but plasma. And I guess we're manipulating that plasma into forms or something. Is that what's happening?
In a weird kind of way, we're taking these frequencies, these electromagnetic waves of light. So it's wave in quantum physics, we call it wave particle duality. So everything exists as waves. If you want to call it plasma, if you want to call it electromagnetism, whatever it is, it's these waves of potentials that exist. And once consciousness interacts with a wave that has a specific frequency or a specific vibration, we then collapse it into an illusion of solid matter. So as I'm looking at my computer screen right now, this computer screen exists as a wave of potentials, okay? Waves of light. And then once I interact with this frequency, my consciousness collapses it into a projection of a hologram that says, no, this is a laptop. But in reality, it's actually waves. And so, you know, what's interesting is with wave particle duality is when you're not looking at something, it exists as waves of frequencies. And then when you look at it, it collapses into something that you call solid matter, because each wave, this cup resonates at a specific frequency. So this cup, there's a frequency now from the way that these atoms are binded together that says every time consciousness interacts with this frequency, it's going to always be this cup. And so that's how things are collapsed into the illusion of solid matter, you know? Yeah.
But I mean, you know how they say, you don't see what I see, even if you see what I see. So is it possible for me to look at that same cup and don't see a cup, and we both are looking at the cup and you see it and I don't see the cup?
You'll see the cup, but you'll also see it from your perspective.
From my perspective, okay.
Yeah, so it could be slightly different. Even colors could be different. Shapes could be slightly different. You may notice things on the cup that I never even noticed before. Different lines or different aspects of the actual type of material it's made out of and things like that. But physics.org has a great article that I show in some of my presentations where they captured a wave as it was just turning into a solid particle. So they captured wave particle duality actually happening on film, knowing and proving now for once and for all that it exists.
Hey, this was amazing, family. Billy, I want you, before he leaves this information, family, make sure you, if you appreciated this show, hit up the Cash App, family. Send us a donation my way, and it will be greatly appreciated. This is the type of programming that we need for our families, our children, our culture, our community, for all of us. So, yeah, make sure you contribute to the Cash App. It's on the screen. Billy, tell them once and before we leave about the workshop this Sunday, and also all the stuff you got. Unite the 99. Tell them about all that stuff before we get out of here.
Great. The workshop is this Saturday, January 31st, from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., 5 hours. And as you guys know, when I did the Manifest Destiny workshop a couple of weeks ago, I gave you 8 hours instead of 6. So I'm probably going to end up going like 6 or 7 hours on Sunday, not just 5, but 5-hour workshop. You can sign up on eventbrite.com. You got the link here in the bio or in the caption of this video. Brother Rich has been dropping it inside the chat box as well, and I dropped it in there a couple of times as well. You can sign up for the event. It's going to be about the secrets of the Atlanteans and the Anunnaki. And what's going to be great about this workshop is not just a history lesson. We are all going to Mars live in real time. I'm going to take everyone at the workshop to Mars, and we're going to go into the Mars Curiosity rover, and we're going to zoom in, zoom out, look left, right. We're going to pan left and right. We're going to look around for anomalies, but not just any anomalies. We're going to look for things that are architecturally similar to ancient stuff that we see here on Earth. Then we're going to be able to, I'm going to let you guys talk, because I'm going to bring people up on the stage during the actual workshop and let them say what they're seeing with their own eyes and what their perception of it is. And we're going to try to build up enough circumstantial evidence to prove that the Atlanteans / Anunnaki were not just a planetary civilization, but they were an interplanetary civilization. And I'm going to present even more evidence that's going to show that they were intergalactic as well. And so I'm going to do something nobody's ever done this. Nobody ever took you to Mars to look around live. And I'm going to be doing that and showing you some amazing anomalies on Sunday. And then my partner, Thomas Jensen, is going to come on, and he's going to show you the process and teach you the exact process, how to grab the content, how to grab the data, how to tap into the camera information, and how to actually bring it into your computer and analyze it for yourself so that you can begin to research and catalog anomalies. And if you start doing a good enough job, we'll let you join our united family of anomaly hunters and bring you on our anomaly hunting team. It's going to be amazing. Outside of that, everyone who did the remote viewing workshop with me and Brother Rich about a month ago, I did a second class and I'm doing a third class. It's free. These classes are free only for the people that pay for the first event. So I did a second class with those same people from the first event. I'm doing another class for free for those same people from the first event. We haven't announced another event yet. And I sent out a new target. Check your email if you were on that workshop, the remote viewing workshop. I sent that email out today with a target number for you to bring me back intel on that target and sketches on that target so that next Sunday, when you come on with me, I want to see all your drawings. I want to see your intel. I got some great videos, testimonial videos that were sent to my email of people and their sketch and the artwork that they did based on targeting. And we're going to go to another advanced class next Sunday, and just for those people. And we'll announce a new class, and we'll show some of these testimonials and show the results and how they're progressing, so you guys can say, wow, I want to be involved in the next workshop with Brother Rich and Billy for the next remote viewing workshop, because this is really amazing results. You're going to be stunned at what you see. And what I'm doing is I'm going to build a special team of remote viewers. This is what the fundamental basis behind this. I'm building a special team. Me and Rich are building a special team of remote viewers, and we're going to use remote viewing to access information and make a lot of changes and adjustments on this planet and speed up the process to get to the golden age. So I'm putting together a very, very special team. The adept initiates, the ones that are at the elite of the elite, the best of the best. I'm handpicking people out of this team. So you're going to want to work really hard, practice and train, because the better you are, the better the team is going to be. And of course, you can find me on forbiddenknowledge.com. My new book, Woke Doesn't Mean Broke, already became a bestseller in 2 weeks.
Congratulations.
So, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Go to forbiddenknowledge.com or go to Amazon. You got to wait. It's sold out again on Amazon
already.
It'll be back on Amazon in about a few days. Compendium of the Emerald Tablets is still a bestseller, 20 months straight, 20 months in a row. And I have another 8-book set coming out on the Egyptian mysteries, and that'll be coming out this summer, and a co-written book by myself and Matthew LaCroix called The Epic of Humanity, coming out this summer as well. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff.
Man, this is next level stuff. And like I said, this ain't for everybody, but if you feel like this is for you, I want you to join us in what we got going on. We feel like we're going to the next level in terms of humanity and in terms of consciousness. You hear a lot of people talk about it, Brother Panic, Brother Blue Pill, Billy Carson, a lot of people talk about it. So be a part of it. Don't get left behind, family. This is some important times that we are in. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It's been an amazing show. I went much longer than I expected to go tonight, but I just couldn't end it that soon. It wouldn't have been right. So, right. I mean, that's how it is. You know, sometimes you got to respect the flow of things and honor the flow. And that's how the flow, the force stays with you that way. You know, when the force comes to me, I honor it. I'll be like, oh, shit, I'm not. Like, let me give you an example real quick. Say if I'm working on a beat and I'm in that zone, but I was supposed to leave. I can't leave. Now I got to stay because they say if you don't use it, you lose it. So when I get that force, I got to use that to maximize it. That way it knows that I'm an antenna. I want that force to come to me. You know what I'm saying? That's how I come up with these ideas. The ideas know they can come to me. The genius ideas, it comes to me because it knows I'm receptive to it. With that being said, family, Billy Carson is going to be back on Friday, but we got the workshop going on Sunday. He's going to show a couple of slides Friday and let you know a couple of other things. Have a good night, family. We see you next time. Peace.
Peace.